There is only one perfect solution, but there are clues that will try to trick our team.
SPEEN!
Hello there everyone, my name is Crazy Caleb and welcome to Dial Trials and Cruel Dial Trials. Now, the difference between Dial Trials and the crueler version of it is going to be the fact that we have 3 rings that we can interact with instead of 2 on the normal version here. There will still be a total of 4 different quadrants that we're working with here. However, in this case we can interact with 3 on the crueler version, which makes it a little bit trickier to figure out the solution. So what exactly do we do with these modules? These modules are both the exact same concept, just one of them is a bit of a trickier variation. So, we're going to align the dials such that all 4 quadrants, and in this case, as you can see, we can mix and match these guys here. All 4 quadrants have the exact same value, where the circle is equal to 1, and the diamond is equal to 5. And then we're going to press the center button, in this case, the check button. And submitting an incorrect permutation of the dials will result in a strike. And as you can see here, Dial Trial has two dials, whereas Cruel Dial Trial has 3. That's going to be the big difference. The big difference that you'll notice is Cruel Dial Trials will have this little outer ring here that you can interact with, whereas normally on the easier version of it, this outer ring, as you can see here, still has clues that it can give you in this case, but what it does is it's not interactable. In this case, the sides are going to stay the exact same. So let's take a look at the easier version, and then we'll hit the harder version, and that'll be all we're simply going to do today. And let's see what we can do to solve this module. So one of the things that I would like to do, and this totally can be a solo for you guys, I should mention, is what I want to do is I want to focus on each of the individual quadrants. And when it means quadrants, it's going to be specifically talking about the directions, up, right, left, and down. That's what it's referring to. So let's take a look and see exactly what we can do. For starters, what we can figure out is we can figure out the total of the inner and outer ring of each of the directions. In this case, we've got 2 circles down at the bottom, so that's going to be equal to 2. And we've got 3 circles up at the top and 1 diamond. That's equal to an 8. So 2 plus 8 is going to give us a total of 10. And that's how much we have got started in the up direction. So 10 is going to be our starting value for that. Next up, we have west. So left in this case. Left has 3 circles, so that's a value of 3. And it has, in this case, a total of 9 on the outer bits. So that's going to be a 12 in this case. So yeah, 3 plus 9 is going to be 12. On the right side, it's the exact same thing. In this case, we've got 12 here. We've got 3 circles and a 9 right here as well. So in this case, that's going to be a 12 as well. And finally, at the bottom, we have a value of 9. Diamond in 4 circles is in this case 9. Plus 2 is going to be an 11. Okay, so let's take a look and let's see what we can do. This is the fact that we have left and right are the exact same values, and all of these are actually really, really close to each other. So that's going to be a bit interesting. So let's take a look and let's see exactly what we can do to even everything out, where they all have the same value. So with the 12s, what we can essentially do here, in this case the left and the right, is we want to look for values that are essentially the exact same. I really wouldn't worry about the up and down unless we have a solution that can work for us. So let's try and figure out exactly what we can do here. Now, potentially, we could potentially do a 4 and a 1, a 4 and a 2 maybe. A 4 and a 2 here, and then a diamond, in this case, which is a 5, and a 1, which is equal to the circle here. So that could potentially work here, or it could potentially be the opposite solution. In this case, the right and the left goes over. But what we want to make sure is the up and the down are indeed the exact same value that we get here too. So let's take a look and let's see if we can add these guys up. So we're going to start with 12 that we have here, and then we're going to add the 2 values on the left and right side, on the left side here, that we haven't added yet. So in this case, it's going to be plus 2 and then plus 4, which is going to give us a total of 18. Now, do the others add up to 18 when we get there? In this case, let's start with the top. So we had a total of 10. The other 2 rings give us a 2 and then a 6. In this case, that does give us 18. That's actually pretty promising. At the 11, down below, we've got 11 plus 3 and 4. And in this case, they all give us a value of 18. We know for a fact that left and right are the exact same values because we determined it to be such. In this case, this is our solution. And just like that is a solved module. Now, with the crueler version, in this case, this is going to be a bit trickier because now this is not a guarantee for our solution. We only have the center ring as a starting point, which can be very, very tricky. So let's take a look and let's see exactly what we can start with. So let's get our guaranteed values here. So we've got 4 up here, 4 up at the top. we have on the left side, we've got an 8. On the right, we've got a 9. And on the bottom, we have a 7. Okay, this might give us some hints that perhaps we want to get higher values of the dials up on the top, but of course, anything is possible at this point. So let's take a look and let's see exactly what we can do here. So perhaps what we can do is we can perhaps start with a diamond, moving this up here. And at this point, this one really is much more brute force. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. It's very tricky to actually determine. I don't really know much strategies behind these. So you're going to have to bear with me on this. But we can essentially just do a bunch of random positions and see if they work. And that could potentially be all we simply need to do for this. So let's take a look and let's see exactly what we can do here. Okay. This definitely has some promise. Because what I'm seeing here is that both of these 8 and 9 are getting 1. And the 7 is getting 2. So in this case, it's going to be getting up to a 9. And all of them are keeping relatively close to each other. Now, the one thing that concerns me is this 9 is going to be getting the diamond by itself, which is a bit interesting, and at the same time, it could be getting something potentially a bit lower. But, at the same time, the top is getting 4 as well, so it's actually going to be keeping up with it. So let's take a look and let's see what we can do, perhaps, with the outer ring here. So let's start by adding up what we have already. And perhaps let's set this to, let's keep it at the position that it's currently at right now. So, for the top value, we've got 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus the 4 that we had originally. That's a total of 18. Okay. Now on the right side, we have 9 in the center, we've got 1, and we have another 5. Already this is not going to work for us. So potentially what we need to do is we perhaps need to decrease our value at the top here, or maybe increase it by 1 in some way, shape, or form. So what gives me that reason to believe is potentially we're going to be doing this circle. I don't think the 4 belongs here. That's what my gut instinct is telling me. Let's put that down there. Let's maybe put the 3 up here. And let's do something like this. So, let's take a look. So we've got 3 plus 3 plus 8 plus 4. In this case, gives us 18. Okay. Already, one thing I'm already seeing is that we already have way too low values over here. That's not going to work for us. So perhaps what if we set this to 2? Let's see if that works for us. Let's set this one to 2. So we've got 3 plus 2 plus 8 plus 4 is going to give us 17. We've got 2 plus 4 plus 1 plus 9 is going to give us 16. Not quite. We're getting closer, but potentially what we can do here, maybe give this 2. Let's try that. But that still is decreased by 1. So, let's think. Maybe the diamond actually does belong here. Maybe we were doing everything right before. 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus the 4 is going to be equal to 18. It's still low. Perhaps what we can set this to is we can set this to the 1 here. So 1 plus 4 plus 8 plus 4 is going to be 17. 4 plus 5 plus 1 plus 9 is equal to 19. This is going to be a bit of an issue now. So maybe let's set you to 4. So 1 plus 2 plus 8 plus 4 is going to be 15. 4 plus 4 plus 1 plus 9, already way too high for me. So let's set you to 2 instead. Let's set you really, really low. 1 plus 3 plus 8 plus 4 is going to be 16. 4 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9, 16. Okay, that's pretty promising. Then for the bottom bit, so for the bottom, we've got 3 plus 4 plus 2 plus 7, 16. Okay. Then we've got 2 plus 5 plus 1 plus 8 from beforehand is equal to 16. Therefore, we have now all of the values of each quadrant equal to the exact same value. We can hit the check mark, and just like that is a solved module. That's all there really is to it. I was able to figure out that the silver one in the center kind of was the only one that could go that little bit with the 8. I figured out that was going to go to the lower value. I figured I'd try all the solutions that I could possibly get, and therefore that's all there really is to it. So it really is a bit of guessing and checking for the cool version, but for the easier version, it's definitely a little bit easier to figure out some solutions. And also, there isn't much to begin with anyway. I think there's like only I think, 16 possible solutions, if I'm right. If I'm doing my math right and I know what I'm doing. But yeah, there really is not much that you can do with the easier variation, but the trickier one, the crueler variation, is a little bit more fun to deal with. And that's all there really is to it. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.